Hello, everyone. This episode is going to be a little different. There's no intro music, there's no outro. This is just simply a moment I wanted to take to be together with you. As you might have heard by now, that John Barnes has died. And for many of us, this is not just the loss of a teacher, it's the loss of, somebody that was so much more than that. A guide, a mentor, some would say a disruptor, a steady presence, and for some, a person whose work changed the entire direction of their life. I fall into that category. If you are listening and feeling sadness, grief, confusion, or even numbness, I just want you to know that there's nothing wrong with what you are experiencing, and there's no correct way to go through something like this or to hold this. I'm recording this episode just to be supportive, to give space, and to speak directly to something I believe matters really deeply, and it matters right now. For me, this is not an ending. I'm seeing this as an invitation. John never taught us to depend on him. He taught us different ways to think, different ways to feel, different ways to observe, and how to trust what we see. He taught us to stay curious, to slow down, to listen deeply, and to practice with integrity. And that kind of work doesn't die with a person. It lives through people. It lives through hands-on bodies, through conversations with our clients, through decisions made when no one is watching, through therapists who choose to keep learning, keep refining, and keep showing up. And I want to speak directly to the therapists who are feeling maybe let down or behind or late or sad that they're not going to get an opportunity to train with John. To those of you who have never worked with John directly, to those of you who thought you had more time, to those of you who are wondering if you somehow missed your chance, I believe you did not. I believe you are not late. It is not too late. And you are actually right on time. This work was never meant to die with John. What John created does not just belong to one era, one generation, or one group of therapists. It lives within the principles, the inquiry, the hands, and the way of seeing that he has now passed forward to each and every one of us. It lives in therapists who train directly with him, and it will live in therapists who are not even born yet. I really believe that. Therapists who will learn this work and treat patients decades from now, because those of us who hold John's legacy will keep going. That is how legacy works. And now it is our responsibility to continue on, right? We don't have to be John. We don't have to copy. We don't have to idolize. We don't have to freeze this work in time. But we can continue on by living it, by practicing with presence, by educating clearly, by speaking about this work with confidence and responsibility, and by refusing to let it become small, hidden, or worse, misunderstood. Making MFR mainstream was never about popularity. It's more about access and continuity to continue on. It's about letting this work reach the people who need it, not just the people who already know how to find it. So that invitation is still here. And now it really belongs to all of us. This work belongs to all of us. And it is truly up to us what we do next. This is not an ending. This is the beginning of what is next. Before I close, I just wanted to invite you to participate in a future tribute episode for John. If John touched your life, if you have a favorite memory, a story, a lesson, or a short message you would like to share, I would love to include your voice in this episode. I'm collecting short audio recordings from therapists who want to honor John and reflect on the impact of his work. These recordings will be edited together into a dedicated tribute podcast episode. You'll find the link in the show notes with simple instructions on how to submit that audio if you feel moved to do this. There's no right thing to say. You don't need to be polished. Your voice matters simply because you are a part of this work. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for holding space to grieve for yourself and for others. And most importantly, thank you for continuing on. It's that continuation that is going to help make MFR mainstream, help move John's legacy into the future, and by doing that, really keeping this work alive. You matter no matter where you're at in just the beginning of this work, the middle, or if you've been doing it for decades. You all matter, and you're all a piece of the legacy. So let's keep going together. And I just want you to know my heart goes out to each and every one of you that are in grief, that are in sadness. And I hope that you can really feel the love that John leaves behind, and that you can lean into and feel the gratitude for all that has been created for us, just by knowing John and being touched by the work. Stay tuned for that future episode where we will honor John Barnes all together. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.